I'm going to rank the kids in Naruto's class as a teacher, how I would rank them as students. So in case you don't know, I am a teacher who my students kind of got me to watch Naruto, and this whole thing started because my students made me watch Naruto. So I just thought it would be fun as a teacher. I'm gonna rank how I think the kids in Naruto, what kind of students they would be, who's a good student, who's not, you know? Also, let me insert this little disclaimer. This is how I'm ranking them as students. I'm not ranking them based on how much I like them. On TikTok, people got real defensive about it because certain people weren't very high and they thought I didn't like those characters. I'm not saying I don't like these characters. Some of the characters I love the most aren't ranked very high because I don't think they'd be excellent students in a class. I'm just talking about, would they be a good student in a classroom? Okay, that's all.
Okay, if you insist. Remember, you asked for it.
So, first, I think Lee. He's not my favorite character. I respect him. I think he's great. He's just not my favorite. But as a student, I think he's a top student. I think he's enthusiastic about learning. I think he's so enthusiastic. I think he has such a good attitude, a positive outlook. And I think that he puts the work in and he gets results. I can't imagine a more delightful student, to be honest. Yeah, I just think all around, he's everything you would want in a student. He's just shows up ready every day. He puts his all into everything he does. And I think he has such a genuine heart about why he does the things he does too. So I think he would just be a wonderful student. I really do. He would be a delight. Number two, I was a little bit torn on. So at first I thought Sakura, she's like super smart, one of the top of the class, and she's pretty chill. So I thought, you know, Sakura. But then I remembered how her and Ino are constantly going at it all the time. And as a teacher, oh my God, nothing drives me more crazy than when you have two students that constantly get into it in class. No matter what, they'll argue about something. Like when you just have those two kids that don't get along. So her and Ino are probably gonna rank a little lower than that, like a little lower because of that. But separately, if they were not in a class together, I think they would both rank pretty high. I think both of them are nice students. Together, they would make me crazy. So for me, number two, I'm torn. I think Shino, because I think he's a good kid. I think he's another kid that wants to learn. He wants to develop himself personally, and he takes it serious and he gets results. And I like that he's pretty humble. You know, I think he's a pretty good kid. But I'm hesitant about ranking him number two because he's the type of kid that you have to watch. He's very slick. Like when he was sneaking off during the tuning exams to spy on the Sand Village kids, or when he snuck off to go get his get back with Puppet Guy, you would just have to keep an eye on him, you know? But overall, I think he's a good kid. I like his humble outlook on life, even the whole never underestimate your opponent. I would like him as a student, I think. So for number three, it's Choji. At first, I thought I was gonna rank him a lot lower because I was like, he has anger issues. He's always lashing out at everyone. But then I thought about the little boy and his butterfly, you know, the precious little kid that was bullied. They're bullying him. That's why he lashes out. And so seeing those little Choji flashbacks of that sweet, pure, innocent soul, I would have the biggest soft spot for him. I would adore him. And why are those kids bullying him? He would be number three. I like him. Number four, you may not agree with, but I have such a soft spot for her. Tintin, I love her and I don't know why. I think I like just her positive attitude. I think she's always upbeat. She's always willing to try to do it. Even if she doesn't hit the mark every time, I think she's so enthusiastic. I think she's a good teammate on her team too. I just have such a soft spot for her. I know that she puts the work in, but she's not gonna get to where she needs to be. I understand that. And you probably do have to spend extra time with her to get it, but I don't know, I have a soft spot for her. I love her. Number five is another one that I have a soft spot for, Sasuke. I have a soft spot for him. He would be that one kid that all the other kids accused me of showing favoritism to him because I just feel so bad for his story and the little boy that lost all his family, you know? And he's quiet. He doesn't have friends. I would have such a soft spot for him as a student, I think. He does have a slick mouth and he does kind of get a little sassy sometimes. And as a teacher, I wouldn't love that. But overall, I think he's dedicated to learning more. I think he shows up. He he's ready to listen and to learn. I don't think yet as a student, like in class, he has that attitude of, you have nothing to teach me, I'm not gonna listen. I think he gets that attitude later. But just as a kid ranking the kids, I think he would be a good student. I think at the end of the day, he just wants to get better for himself. And I respect it. And I would have such a soft spot for him and just support him, you know? Number 6, Hinata. I originally thought I was gonna rank her higher because I love her. She has heart, I adore her. But she does get a little distracted by Naruto. She passes out every time he talks to her, basically. And I think that I would get frustrated with her always being distracted and, like, you know what I mean, just not paying 100% attention. And I think she has the heart, but I think sometimes she doubts herself a lot, and so she doesn't do it. And that would also frustrate me because I feel like she holds back a lot. And so she wouldn't be my top student, but I would definitely adore her, have a soft spot for her. But I would want her to kind of grow out of her like childhood crush. Not that she can't like Naruto, because I think that's cute, but just to grow out of like the way she does it and to kind of grow out of her insecurities. I would love to see that for her. Number 7, I was torn on 7. So I originally ranked Shikamaru so much lower, but I think I would like him because at first I thought he would frustrate me because he's lazy, he doesn't care, everything's a drag. I think I even remember him like falling asleep times and pretending to be asleep. But then I thought about Shikamaru and Cigarette Sensei and how Shikamaru's always hanging out with his teacher, how he loves like talking to him and learning from him, and how he really does listen to him and internalize that feedback. And I think he would be a good student. I think he deep down wants to do better. It just takes him a while to realize that. And once he gets there, he really gets there. And so I would feel frustrated with him because has so much potential and he's so like wasting it sometimes. But I also think he's such a sweet kid. And just thinking about what a good friend he is to Choji, I think I would like him. Number 8, even though he's one of my favorites in the series, I think he would be a terror in the classroom, Neji. Neji has a slick mouth. He talks crazy to everyone. He talks crazy to Guy. If he talked to me the way he talks to Guy, I would go home and cry every night. I love Neji. I think he learns a lot. He puts it to use and he shows a lot of like progress and results, and he's self-motivated, which are things that I would value in a student. But I'm too sensitive. He has a slick mouth and I know myself. I wouldn't be able to deal with it. I would go home and cry every night. I would also probably have a soft spot for him because of his little backstory, and Child Neji was adorable too, but not enough of a soft spot for when he starts talking crazy to me. I know myself. So number 9 is Sakura. I originally imagined she'd be much higher, but just thinking about her and Ino going back and forth, like I'm drained just thinking about it. I couldn't imagine being in a class with that every day, you know, and it never ends with them two, I feel like, for years of their childhood. I also think she is a little boy crazy, let's be honest. Her and Ino both, they're a little boy crazy. And as a teacher, if you've ever been in a classroom where the kids are starting to get like boy crazy and girl crazy, it's insufferable. It's insufferable. They don't show up and pay attention to anything except, is this person paying attention to me? What can I do for this person's attention? And I think Sakura and Ino do show those traits a little bit. They do worry a lot about Sasuke and if he's thinking about him, if he's noticing them. And I don't think they're 100% focused on doing well. I think it's easy for Sakura to do well because she's so smart and can pick things up quickly, but that doesn't mean she's 100% focused. You know, she could be doing way more than she is. Same with Ino. I love Ino as a character, but as a teacher, I think Ino's a little sassy. I've never seen her be sassy to a teacher, but I imagine she has it in her if it was the right day, you know? Yeah, her and Sakura would drive me crazy. She's just a little too boy crazy too. I think the things they learn in class isn't their top priority. You're not gonna have their attention. They're gonna be doing their own thing, arguing with each other, worrying about boys, talking about boys. You know, just if you've been a teacher and experienced it, you've experienced it and you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And then this brings me to the bottom of my list. Kiba and Naruto. I love Naruto as a character. I adore him. I think he's the best kid in the world. He has so much heart. And I constantly think the adults let him down, which is a whole other conversation. But as a student, you know he's terrible. You know he does not listen. You know he never gets to the point of what you're trying to say because he's not listening. He was always playing pranks on the teachers, always doing his little sexy jitsu, doing anything but what he's supposed to do. And then he's always like, him and Sasuke have their little thing going on too, which is just as much as a distraction. Yeah, and Kiba, he gets on my nerves the same way Naruto does. Not as much as Naruto, but Kiba also, he just doesn't get it sometimes. And he's just, the things he thinks of to do, he just, yeah, he misses it sometimes. Love Akamaru though, love Akamaru. He could bring Akamaru to class every single day. Akamaru though, if he was on the list, he'd be up there because Akamaru has heart. He's the one telling Kiba to soldier up, to be brave. Another conversation though. Akamaru's top of the list though. He's excellent. But yeah, Kiba and Naruto, they're a little slow to the take together. They're hard on missions. Even on the mission, when they're the Sasuke retrieval mission, when Shikamaru and Neji are trying to explain stuff to them and Kiba and Naruto miss the point, they do the wrong thing. You know, it just, yeah. I love Naruto though. So that's how I would rank them as students. I'm kind of interested to see what you guys would think of. This is just, I don't know, I thought it was fun. I'm a teacher, so yeah.